Today on Forbes, Zyn, but with weed. The pouch craze hits the cannabis industry. In October 2011, Cliff Sammet and his friends pulled a Ford Escape into the Stanford football stadium parking lot and sparked a joint while they looked for a spot. The guys were all up from Santa Cruz for a game against USC. While hotboxing in the parking lot, they rolled down their windows and got dirty looks as they passed parents with young children. Sammet, who was working at a hospital at the time and getting drug tested, couldn't hit the joint that was being passed around. Instead, he packed a pinch of Copenhagen smokeless tobacco and tossed the tin on the dash. Then, in a nicotine-fueled buzz, he had an aha moment. He says, quote, "I threw in a lipper and thought, why not put the pot in the chew?" His friends, who were all glazed over at that point, naturally thought it was a brilliant idea. It would be another 4 more years until Sammet ran into Case Mandel, an old high school buddy and cannabis entrepreneur who was running an illegal THC extraction lab in Humboldt County, California at the time, and pitched him on his idea: create a lip pouch laced with cannabis, not nicotine. This was before Zyn, Philip Morris International's pouches, became a cult obsession in the United States. But Sammet, a longtime dipper, had been introduced to snus pouches, which contained pasteurized tobacco and pure nicotine products. His idea had coalesced over the years, and he realized pouches, not dip, would make for a better delivery system for THC. Mandel, who was 40 years old, and Sammet, who was 38, and a small scrappy team decided to use the husks of coconuts as a filler. Coconut coir is incredibly absorbent and typically used by cannabis cultivators. By that time, Mandel's THC extraction business, Arcata X, was legitimate and had a license from the state, and they started infusing the pouches with THC distillate. In 2016, their new company, Cannadips, launched in California. Mandel says, quote, "When we launched, it was for football players, baseball players, outlaws, country guys, NASCAR guys. You know, it was a redneck vice. Now, pouches are going crazy." Cannadips, which is based in Arcata, a town in California's Emerald Triangle, makes marijuana-derived THC pouches that are sold in dispensaries in California and Arkansas. With 15 pouches to a tin, Cannadips, like Zyn, comes in several flavors, including mint, tangy citrus, and orange creamsicle. Cannadips generated more than $7 million in revenue last year and hopes it can double that number this year when it expands to Missouri. The company is also in the process of expanding to Kentucky by the end of 2025. Cannadips also has a CBD and hemp-derived cannabinoids line, which is sold online thanks to the Farm Bill, and in Sheetz gas stations in Pennsylvania and Ohio. Bolt Runners, the parent company, also manufactures other types of pouches, including ones infused with caffeine for upper deckies, the brand launched by Max Vander Aard, the social media Zynfluencer, better known as Chetty. Bolt Runners also manufactures its own nicotine pouch called Ammo and makes nootropic-filled pouches for companies like Aura and Rebel. Mandel and Sammet, of course, are hoping to replicate the massive success of Zyn, which dominates the multi-billion-dollar nicotine pouch industry with nearly 70% market share. Zyn shipment volume in the US jumped 75% from 2022 through the third quarter of 2024, and Philip Morris International committed to spending more than $800 million to build 2 new pouch factories to meet demand. Cannadips was the first pot pouch on the market, but it is not alone anymore. In Colorado, Jesse Loffman, a 47-year-old cannabis product manufacturer, launched Cannadips in 2024. Its first month on the market, Cannadips generated just $10,000 in sales. Today, the company is hitting $1.2 million a year. For full coverage, check out Will Yakowitz's piece on Forbes.com. This is Kieran Meadows from Forbes. Thanks for tuning in.